And welcome back here to the Howell Activities Network as we get ready for this second half in this district final. Currently, the Troy Buchanan Trojans lead your Francis Howell Vikings 17-14 as we got about 5 minutes till we kick off this second half of this, well, what's expected to be a terrific ending here to this one here tonight.
We we're standing up here, Evan. However, if I was sitting down, I'm on the edge of my seat. You might have lost us with about 2 minutes to go. It looks like going into the half. You didn't miss a whole lot. Jew James had a push-off call to push them back, and about to their 43-yard line, and it was 2nd and 12 that put them at.
Yep.
They could have opted to go with to go there, and they opted to kneel on it. 17-14 here, and like I said, I'm standing up. However, if I was sitting down, I'd be on the edge of my seat because this game has lived up to every bit of the potential here. It's been a great showing at the H. The fans have been electric. It's been every bit of a district final football game, and these Howell Vikings, they know they're down. They're getting the ball first. I'm expecting an explosive first drive from these Vikings to get this stadium back and going and getting right back up where they picked off here whenever they kind of had that decent little first couple series going up 14-0. I expect a similar start to the half from these Vikings.
Yeah, and of course it's two very explosive offensive teams, and kind of tonight have gotten some big stops at times tonight. And you probably expect that late in this game, that's kind of what it's going to come down to, is maybe a defense getting a big stop and really turning the tide of this game. But obviously it's kept close throughout this. It was Francis Howell who got off to the early 14-0 lead, and then the Trojans answered back with 17 and currently lead 17-14 as we're about 2 or 3 minutes away from kicking off this second half. And boy, it's just been a terrific game here tonight. We're expecting even more of the same here in the second half. So again, for the Vikings, for them, it's kind of been a little bit of a couple different guys doing a lot of the heavy lifting here tonight, but we've seen a lot of Booker Simmons. I mean, we've kind of seen a little bit more of Booker Simmons here tonight than usual, as they've kind of been, through the middle of the series is, switching on and off instead of, one series, hey, this is Gabe, the next one's Booker. It's kind of been like they will rotate mid-series.
Yeah, which is definitely a different approach than what we've seen kind of except for recently, kind of in these district games, they've been switching up mid-series, which has been super impressive. And like I said, it kind of throws off the defenses. Once you start having a total opposite quarterback, essentially, Booker Simmons, he can run. He's a dual threat, but he's got a lot of arm. Gabe James, you kind of understand the approach that they're going to go with. He's definitely got an arm as well. However, you know which one they favor a little bit more. So being able to mix that up and bring in a total different kind of talent at quarterback mid-series, both dangerous quarterbacks as well, is a super great quality to have. And I would guess to say that they start out with Booker Simmons here to kind of get this offense going. We did see kind of going towards the left of the field, from our perspective in the press box, has been a little difficult for the quarterbacks to adjust with the wind.
Yeah.
Kind of going opposite, we've seen it kind of playing a reverse factor.
Yeah, on the right side of the field, they're kind of overthrowing, and on the left side, they're heavily underthrowing. And it's been both quarterbacks. I mean, it's been, Charo Sutton for Troy, and it's been, Booker Simmons for the Vikings here tonight, with the underthrows and overthrows. I mean, we've seen it on both ends of the field. So that's going to be something to look out for in the second half for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got 1:38 here for arguably the biggest half of the Francis Howell Vikings season here.
Yeah.
They're going down in the second half, down 3 to the Troy Trojans.
And I believe this is the first time they've trailed all season going into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Yeah.
And, so it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. I have zero doubt that they aren't going to respond with at least some noise,
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm expecting an explosive first drive to get this these fans at the H back and going on their feet. You know, like I said, this is the biggest half of both team seasons here. It's winner goes home, district football. You know, we always talk about it. This is exactly what you play for. The seniors out on the field that have given 4 years of their time and efforts to build this program, as well as the Troy Trojans. The one thing about Troy, though, is there's a lot of juniors on that team. They're going to have a lot of returners or returning players for next year. So this team's going to be dangerous. But this Howell Vikings team, like I said, a lot of seniors and a lot of kids that have, like I said, put 4 years of hard work to build this program and build this tradition that they have and the chemistry that you see on the sidelines. Biggest half of their season, and I'm excited to see how they respond as we're getting ready to kick off here at the H.
So the senior Mason Gessert will kick it off for the Trojans. It's Kendall Gurley and Jalen Pearson back to receive for Francis Howell. As we get ready for this second half in this district final, I'm kind of feeling nervous.
I was about to say, I feel like I'm ready to take the field right now. I mean, man, the adrenaline, the atmosphere here is incredible. And like I said, going with this game.
So here's a little line drive squibber, and it's one-handed there by Kendall Gurley. It looks like he's going to take it to about the 21. So that was a straight line drive squib kick up the field. Kind of a tough play there for Kendall Gurley, the return man, but he gets it to the 21, and that's where the Vikings will start.
Yeah, I don't even know if you consider that a squib kick. It didn't land to the 10-yard line. You know?
It was just kind of like a hard bounce.
You know, he is kicking into the wind, so that could have a factor on it. You know, we were saying going that way, it definitely affects it. So, you know, the Howell has the wind going with him downfield here. So I suppose you might see some big throws here from Booker Simmons.
It's actually Gabe James in right now. He's going to hand it off to Jalen Pearson, and Jalen Pearson's going to pick up about a yard or two.
There you go. So Gabe James is here, and we'll see if we kind of see what they've been going with kind of the dual quarterback series, you know, which is always interesting to see how it pans out.
2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Now it's Gabe James. He's going to take it up the middle, and Gabe James is going to pick up about 1. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7. Actually, a 3rd down and 6 is what it's going to be here for Francis Howell. Boy, this is a big early drive here for Francis Howell. You don't want to give the ball right back to Troy. So Gabe James gets ready for the snap. Actually, that's Booker Simmons as he comes in. Nope, that is Gabe James. I couldn't see if they ended up rotating or not. 3rd down and 6 from the 26. Gabe James takes it. He is going to flip it over the middle, and that is to Norfleet, and I think he's right at the marker. I think he stretched and got it.
They're spotting him for a first down.
Yeah,
they're going to be moving those
and that was
chains.
a nice stretch there made by Brett Norfleet, as it was a fake to the left of Jalen Pearson and a flip up the middle to Brett Norfleet, who moved the chains. Boy, that was huge.
Even me up in the box here, I was expecting, you know, a pitch out to the left outside, kind of hit that outside gap. I was not expecting an inside toss there to find Norfleet, but the benefits of being a big man, you get those extra stretches.
1st down and 10. That is complete to Norfleet. He's got 10 and about 15 on that reception. So nice move there by Gabe James as he finds his big tight end, Brett Norfleet, and a gain of 14 there for the Vikings.
And that's a Gabe James that I wanted to see there, you know, someone who can
Simple
give
passes.
a simple pass. And if you can break off a big rush and you complete those simple 5-yard passes and have faith in your receivers, that's huge.
Gabe James is going to keep it, and he's going to run for about 6 or 7 there. So that'll move him into Troy territory.
Because then you have defenses second-guessing. If he just wheels out a little bit, they might be expecting the run, but if you can complete that 6-yard pass and give it a receiver with some open space, that's a first down all day. That's automatic.
Territory at the Troy 48. Here's a snap. Gabe James keeps it. He goes to the left. He's got blocks. Now he goes out of bounds, and he picks up the 1st down a little bit extra. A nice run there to the outside by Gabe James.
Gabe James moving with a purpose with his running here. I mean, he's navigating those holes, navigating those gaps, hitting them hard. Getting that 1st down is huge there.
And it looks like we might have a flag. Yep, it's going to be a hold on Francis Howell. I didn't even see a flag come down, but it came down there.
I'm usually pretty good at spotting the markers, but I did not see one at all there.
Boy, that's unfortunate for Francis Howell because that's going to move him to the back to the Howell 47. So we're just 2 minutes into this third quarter. 10-10 left to go here in the third. Vikings down 3. Second down and 9. Gabe James is going to look to the right. He's going to complete. No, it's in and out of the hands of Kendall Gurley. He had it, and he just dropped it. It was right in his hands, and he couldn't hang on to it. And that'll bring up a third down and 9.
And that's a prime example of not getting a little excited, seeing the play before it happens, and losing focus on the play that you need to make there. As just let it go through his hands there, and that would have been a big first down for the Vikings.
So third down and 9 from the 48. Gabe James rolls out to the left. He looks downfield. He throws, and that is intended for Taj. Did he come up with it? I think it's incomplete, and it is. They're going to say it's incomplete, and that was intended for Taj Gurley at around the Troy 28. That would have been about a 30-yard pass there, or about a 40-yard pass there to Taj Gurley. But we got a flag. And they're going to say a holding on Troy, it looks like. Oh, no, it's going to be a roughing the passer call. So the Vikings are going to get another opportunity here. Boy, that is huge. So that's going to be an automatic first down.
Yeah.
Wow, that is huge. And that's going to move the Vikings all the way to the Troy 37, it looks like.
You know, I say this a lot, but it's all about capitalizing on those big breaks that you get. If you can put up 6 with that big, crucial penalty in your first drive, opening drive of the first half, that could change this game and tilt it on its axis here.
So Gabe James keeps it up the middle. He's going to rush up the gut and pick up about 3. So that'll bring up a second down. Looks like a gain of 3 there for Gabe James. I don't know, I can give him 2. So second down and 8. Looks like we got a injured Viking here down on the field. So 9:32 left to go here in this third quarter. I want to mention one of our sponsors is Jeff Earhart. You're spending too much on car insurance. Need insurance for that new home. Don't stray too far from Howell and contact Coach Jeff Earhart at State Farm Insurance for our auto, home, property, business, life, and health needs.
And the Vikings, you know, that's a tough player to go down, as it's Chase Cabrini, who's been a huge part of that Francis Howell offensive line. However, they got a lot of big guys on that sideline, and you know, there's a lot of guys that could possibly come in. Oh, that's actually T.J. Houston. I take that back, but he gets up on his own.
He's back on his feet and walking pretty good, so that's great to see.
And yeah, T.J. Houston's definitely a guy that you need to keep in this game. You know,
on both sides of the ball.
I was about to say,
yeah.
affected on both sides of the ball. You know, making that transition from defense to offense last year, and has really been a huge help. You know, we had mentioned earlier in the year he made that transition due to, you know, the difficult circumstances of fielding a full team. They need to get guys on both sides of the ball. He stepped up. That's a leadership in him, and he's a huge, big-time senior player for this Howell Vikings team.
Second down and 8. Booker Simmons back in the game. He takes a snap. That's complete to the right side, and a nice completion there, as it looked like he might be right at the marker. And I think that was Brady Holtman with the reception.
And I think that should move the chains, actually.
Yep, he was right at the marker. They're going to give it to him. So that'll move the chains and pick up a Howell first down. That was huge. And we don't see too many receptions by Brady Holtman, but we saw one right there.
And was that a towel that was getting stretched there?
Yeah.
I mean, someone was trying to bring him down by something hanging out in the back and stretch it for about 10 yards, it looked like.
So a first down and 10 from the Troy 32 here for Francis Howell. Gabe James ready for the snap. He's going to roll out to the right and doesn't have much to work with. He might have picked up a yard. And that'll bring up second down. Couldn't quite see where he stepped out at, but And they're going to say a hold on Francis Howell, so that's going to move them back. Well, that's unfortunate there.
Well, especially
Just another penalty on Francis Howell.
especially in this field goal or in this
Range,
yeah, I mean, as you're getting down in this field position, you really can't afford to lose too many yards. You're down a field goal. You know, you got to keep the ball moving forward, and if you can't convert on a first down, you need to pick up 3 points. So you got to get yourself back into field goal position here as
Booker Simmons back in. And reverse, Booker Simmons is going to look downfield to the right. He's got Gurley, and he overthrew him. Just a little bit too long to the left. And they tried a little trickery there as it was a flip and then a flip back to the quarterback, Booker Simmons, as he tried the long pass to Kendall Gurley, and that would have been, but that'll bring up a 3rd down and 21.
And we had mentioned how the wind does play a factor, and right there alone, we saw that ball carry a little bit longer than it usually would, and just couldn't connect with Gurley there as he just overshot him in the end zone. I really like that idea, though. I mean, they had him going downfield and had him stride for stride, however, just overshot him.
So it's a 2nd down and 21 after the penalty, as there's a rush up the gut there by Jalen Pearson. He picks up about 2. So it doesn't pick up much, so it'll be a 3rd and about 18 or 19 here for Francis Howell. 8:05 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Vikings down 3. So he picks up 2 on the rush. That's Jalen Pearson. 3rd down and 19 from the Troy 35. Gabe James is still in there at QB for the Vikings.
Pearson line up on the right here.
Yep. Jalen Pearson lined up to the right. They got 2 receivers to each side, the left and right. Now they're going to look, and that is complete to, it looked like Brett Norfleet, and he's going to be short of the 1st down marker, but a nice catch there made by Brett Norfleet as it was a pass to the right that he had to dive for, and he ended up coming up with it.
You know, short of the 1st down, but most importantly, gets him back into that field goal position, which is huge.
So they're going to give Josh Deal an opportunity. This will be about a 32-yard attempt here for Josh Deal. Brady Holtman is the holder here for Francis Howell. This would be to tie the game at 17 if he's able to get it. Here's the hold, and it is blocked at the line by Troy. And they are going, and the ball rolls all the way back to about the 5, and that's where they're just going to lay on it. But a huge block and deflection, and Troy is going to get the ball back, and boy, just unfortunate there for Francis Howell as they had an opportunity to tie this game, and it got blocked right at the line.
What an effort from the Troy Trojans to break through that line and get a great jump on that snap.
Now, I mean, you'd have to say one fortunate thing that came out of this was the ball did deflect all the way back to the 3,
which is
so
huge.
Troy's going to be back at their own 3-yard line, so pinned out real deep, so it almost kind of worked as a punt, a really deep punt, but obviously you wanted the points there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, definitely there's some benefits to that block punt. It wasn't.
So Sutton's going to take it up the gut, and it looked like he's going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 on that rush up the middle.
Fortunately, it wasn't missed, and they got the ball back right where they were.
Yeah.
But obviously you're looking for 3 there. But as I said, what an effort by the Troy Trojan special teams unit to break through that line and get a great jump on the snap and have a great blocked field goal there.
2nd down and 8 from the Troy 5. Sutton will hand it off up the middle to Brett Smith. And he is right across the 10. He's close to the marker. I think he's
I don't
right
think they're
at
going
it.
to move him.
Oh, they are going to move him. He was right at the marker, and they're going to move the chains. So that is going to be a Troy 1st down. Boy, that's huge out of their own zone. And he's going to pick up about 2. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 here for Troy. 6 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Vikings down 3, 17-14. Troy on top. 2nd down and 7. Sutton will take it to the right. He's going to look now to the left, and the Vikings are all over him. They got a sack, and they're just going to whistle it dead. So a nice job by the Vikings defense, and that's going to be a loss of about 2, maybe 3 there for Troy.
And that's an example of Sutton holding on to the ball a little too long there. I mean, I know he didn't have a whole lot of options, but he was out of the pocket there. At least get rid of it, because you just lost a big chunk of yardage for your team there.
So he loses 4 on the play. 3rd down and 12 from the 11. Big play in this game. Vikings fans on their feet here on this side of the field. 3rd down and 12, 5:08 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. Sutton gets ready for the snap. He looks to the side. They got 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, and it looks like we're going to call a timeout. So Troy's going to call a timeout here. And that'll be their first timeout taken here this second half. You could tell that they just weren't quite sure what to do there, and probably just best to take the timeout, make sure you don't have a turnover.
Well, losing that much a chunk, you're not really expecting to lose yards, especially that many yards as well on one play. So it kind of sets you back a little bit on the series and the flow of the game that you kind of want. So yeah, probably a well taken timeout from the Troy Trojans there, as the Howell Vikings are looking to make a big stop and get a huge turnover on downs here, because you don't anticipate Troy Trojans going for it from where they're at right now.
Again, thank you for joining us here on the Howell Activities Network. We apologize. Due to Misha rules, we are only able to give you the audio broadcast here tonight, no camera, due to Misha rules. So again, we apologize, but thank you for joining and listening to us here tonight. Howell down 3, 4:57 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. It's a 3rd down and 12 from the Troy 11. Sutton gets ready for the snap. They send a man in motion. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Sutton's going to roll out to the left. He's going to look downfield, and that is incomplete. Nice broken up there by, it looked like, number 19. That was Caleb Miller who broke that one up, and that'll be a 4th down and 12. And, boy, this is going to give Howell a great field position as long as nothing crazy happens on the punt here.
Caleb Miller with excellent coverage on that play over by his own sideline, really getting this team going. As I said, was stuck to him like glue, made a great move to break up that pass, and hopefully the Vikings get themselves in pretty good field position as long as, like you said, everything goes well for them.
So Troy is going to punt in their own end zone here. Here's the punt. It's a high one. Here's the punt. It is away. It bounces at about the 30. It looked like we had a little extra going on back by the return men as we got a flag down. I'm not sure who that's on, but according from up here, I think it's going to be on Troy. So the punt bounced at around the 30-yard line. They're going to mark them right at the 30, but not sure if we had a penalty afterwards or not.
And you got to imagine this is going to go against Troy here.
Well, it was kind of like back in the, back where the Howell return men were, was where it kind of seemed like the little scrum happened. On Troy, so that's going to move Howell up to, it looks like the 24. So Howell will get good field position here as they got a 1st down and 10 at the Troy 24, 4:42 left to go. Booker Simmons back in at QB. Well, that's huge for Francis Howell. They got 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Actually, it's Gabe James in, and now he's going to get sacked. That's a nice play made there by Troy. And that was it looks like Austin Winslow in on the tackle there for Troy Buchanan.
A huge stop on the Trojans there as Gabe James was looking to break free. However, that's a big stop made, and looks like Booker Simmons is coming in for this series of his job.
Well, at first it kind of seemed like Booker Simmons was going to go out there at first, but Gabe came in, so it's a loss of 3. Booker Simmons is going to roll out to the right. He's going to look downfield, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds, and another sack for Troy, as that is Ja'Kai Lane with another sack.
He's got to pick up on these slant routes. I mean, on that one specifically, he had Deshaun Hudson crossing the field, had his defender beat. Deshaun Hudson has wheels, and he can easily get by defenders, as we see plenty of times. He has him on that slant route across the field, and Booker Simmons just couldn't catch up, couldn't get his attention there.
So a loss of 4 on the sack. It's a 3rd down and 17 from the Troy 31. Booker Simmons drops back. He's going to look over the middle. Now he's going to rush up the gut. He doesn't have much receivers open, and he's going to get right back to the initial marking, it looks like. So it looks like a gain of maybe 6 or 7 there for Booker Simmons. So he maybe gets at least a chance here for Josh Deal to make a field goal.
Josh Steele, who's 0 for 2 on field goals tonight, which is
yeah, rare.
Unlike Josh Steele, one was a great block and the other was just wide. Josh Steele has a huge opportunity to redeem himself here, as he's got about a
35-yarder.
35-yarder.
So a 4th down and 11 from the 25. They're going to go for the 35-yarder here. Josh Deal's field goal is no good, wide left, and he's 0 for 3 here tonight. And boy, Francis Howell has had a couple opportunities to put 2 field goals in here, and they've been unable to. One got deflected at the line, and this one was wide left for Josh Deal, and he's just been a little bit off here tonight.
You hear about it all the time, you know, whether it's golf, whether it's baseball. You know, those yips come in. Once you get that one play that you start struggling, you get in your head a little bit, and that's kind of what seems to be shaking up Josh Steele here tonight. As it's an unfortunate miss, and like you said, 2 opportunities to get back into this game.
So 1st down and 10 from the 20. 46 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sutton is going to hand it off to Brett Smith, and Brett Smith is going to pick up about 2. Will Singleton was in on the tackle. They give him 3 on the rush. 2nd down and 7 from the 23 here for Troy. 2:25 left to go. They got 1 man here to the left, 2 to the right, and it's a handoff again here to Brett Smith. And Brett Smith is going to pick up about 1. So good job by the Vikings defense all over that rush. Brett Smith contained here tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, the only time you see that run game been effective is whenever that Charo Sutton kind of finds those holes and is able to break off. Brett Smith has been held to minimal gains here per carry.
So Sutton is going to take the snap. He's going to look to the left. He's going to rush it up the middle. He broke a tackle and gets a first down on a lot more, but we do have a penalty. Yep, we got a penalty at around the far marker at about the 20.
I think this is going to be coming back here.
I think it's on the line there. I think it might be a false start potentially. I know they said a hold. Yep, so a hold. It was thrown right at the line, so yeah, it'll be a hold on Troy. That is huge for Francis Howell because it was a run of about 12 up the middle there for the quarterback Sutton, and it's coming back, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 15 from the 15.
It just looked like he had way too much time and space there for there not to be anything, you know. He was able to read it very well, but it looked too good to be true almost. At least I was hoping as a Vikings commentator.
So Sutton takes a snap. That is incomplete over the middle. And that was in and out of the hands of Brett Smith. So that'll bring up a 4th down and 15. 1:31 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. Another big stop for this Howell Vikings defense. And I'll tell you what, all season long it's been the Howell offense. Tonight it's been the Howell defense giving them a chance.
Well, absolutely. You know, it seemed to be that this might have been a shootout game once the Vikings get up 2 scores their first 2 drives of the game. However, the Troy defense is awesome. It's been a game of defense so far. I mean, Troy defense has been really shutting down this Howell Vikings team. They figured each other out, so you're starting to see teams adapt a little bit.
So here's the punt. It is away, and it's bounced, and it takes a Troy bounce, and it'll be down at about the 39. So Howell's going to have great field position here, as it'll be down at the Howell 39, or at the Howell 40. They're going to mark it. So good field position here, and another great opportunity on offense here for Francis Howell. But if you're Francis Howell, you want to stop with the field goal attempts. You want to get 6 here.
Well, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You still have a excellent kicker in Josh Steele.
Yeah,
excellent
no doubt about
kicker
it.
in Josh Steele. However, in a game like this, you don't want to put it in the hands of someone who's kind of been a little shaky so far, you know. So you really want to do what you can to get your 6, especially in a game like this, and get that lead mainly.
So here's a handoff to the left. Brady Holtman gets some blocks, and he's right at the marker. You think he's about a yard short. So a nice run there to the left there for Brady Holtman. That'll be a pickup about 9.
Holtman with a big pickup there.
They're going to give him about 7 there, so I guess his knee was down quicker than I thought it was. So to gain a 7, it looks like there for Brett.
That's a running back on running back crime right there.
For
Brett
Brady
Smith
Yeah.
bringing Holtman down there.
So here's a rush. Brady Holtman's going to pick up the first down a little bit more. He's down at about the 19. So a rush there of 13 yards for Brady Holtman. And that's going to give the Vikings a first down. 39 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
And I mean, those 2nd and 2 runs with Holtman, automatic. I mean, those 2-yard pickups, Holtman's a great asset to have to be able to convert those first downs or touchdowns, whatever you may have.
Gabe James is going to hand it off again to Holtman. And boy, it almost looked like that ball was going to maybe kind of juggle out there, but Holtman's going to pick up a couple yards on the rush. Boy, as he was falling down, it kind of looked like maybe the ball was going to come out.
I'm not going to say anything about ball security, but in the early stages of the game, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah. So it's a gain of 3 for Holtman. 2nd down and 7 from the Troy 16. And it looks like we got a official timeout. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. So the third quarter clock comes to an end, and it is a Troy 17-14 lead over your Francis Howell Vikings. Is good time to mention one of our sponsors. It's Dan Main. Are you thinking about buying a new home or refinancing an existing home loan? Call Dan, your mortgage man. Also special discounts available for first responders, educators, and faculty. Call or visit danmain.com today, and let's get you home. Dan Main, MLS number 502036. Flat Branch Mortgage Company, MLS number 224149, Equal Housing Lender. We're also brought to you by People Savings Bank. People Savings Bank is the people you know and trust.
And
So here we go. It's quarter number 4 here in this district final, and Howell will have a first down and 10 from the Troy 16, a chance to take the lead here or at least tie. Well, you got a great opportunity here if you're Francis Howell, and points have kind of been hard to come by here, especially in the last 2 quarters.
It's been a defensive battle so far in the last 2 quarters, especially that last quarter. I mean, Howell had every opportunity to get on the board, and these Troy Trojans have been making some big-time stops, which is kind of what established that win for the Vikings whenever they were on their home turf. Defense stepped up and made some plays. Win or go home, folks. This is district final. I mean, win or go home. This is the 4th quarter. Let's go, Vikings.
Gabe James is going to hand it off up the middle to Brady Holtman. Brady Holtman's going to pick up about 4.
Vikings offense needs to start getting
And
going.
actually, that's going to bring up a 3rd down, as initially the scoreboard had it as a first down, but that's going to bring up 3rd down. So he's going to be about 3 yards short of the marker. So it'll be a 3rd down and 3.
And as you mentioned, you want to focus on getting this.
No, it'll be a 2nd and 3. Excuse me. Sorry. As there's a keeper there by Gabe James to the left, and he's going to pick up a first down. So a nice job there by Gabe James. That'll move the chains for a Vikings first.
Yeah, they'll definitely move the chains there. And like you said, let's focus on getting a lead here whenever, a tie would be perfect, but a lead would be even bigger.
First down and goal for the Vikings from the 5. Gabe James is going to hand it off. Brady Holtman is in. Touchdown, Vikings. And that gives them the lead here late in this game. 11:07 to go in this one, and it's a touchdown for Brady Holtman. A nice rush of 5 yards, and the Vikings lead 20-17.
And Holtman with a man run right there. That's a district final run right there. That's a district final drive from Holtman right there. He knew what he needed to do, and that was a huge pickup of 4 yards for that touchdown. And the Vikings get back on top, 21-17. What a drive and what a response from a slow start to that second half in that third quarter there.
They're going for the PAT here, and it is up, and I think he missed it. No, it is good. I kind of thought for a second he missed it wide right, but he ended up getting it in there. 21-17, Vikings on top.
We heard everybody's heart drop on that one over here on this Howell Vikings side.
11 minutes.
And that's a huge touchdown from the Vikings, and the Vikings are getting going here with a big touchdown to open up the fourth quarter here.
Troy, 17.
So it is a 21-17 Howell lead. 11:07 left to go here in this district final. Boy, we are in for a great finish here tonight.
I mean, this is exactly what you needed, a slow start to that second half, like you said, a battle of defenses, and Howell just couldn't necessarily get what they needed to get that, that one gut punch in. However, that's a big response from them, and that's a huge 7 points for the Vikings.
So Josh Deal will be on for the kickoff. It'll be LeBron Matthews along with Caden Olmeyer back to receive for the Trojans.
And
Here's a kick by Josh Deal. It is taken by, looked like, as he's going to run to about the 20, the 21, and he gets stuffed by the Vikings. So I think that was Olmeyer on the return there for the Trojans.
And the Vikings, battling for their home turf, essentially. I mean, This is a huge district final game where they've had the benefit of having home field advantage every game, and this home field definitely knows how important that touchdown was as they're getting going, and the atmosphere is amazing.
First down and 10 from the 21 of the Trojans here for Troy. They send a man in motion, and that's a handoff to him, and that's going to be a rush of about 2 or 3. That was, I believe that was Ethan Lawler on the carry there. So the gain of 2, that'll get him to the 23. 10:35 left to go here in this one. Sutton gets ready for the snap. And it's a low snap, and now it's a handoff to Brett Smith, and Brett Smith isn't going to pick up very much. He might have just got back to the line, and that could have even been potentially a loss. I believe he got right back to the line of scrimmage.
I was about to say, depending on if they want to give him forward progress on that potentially could have been a big loss for the Trojans.
So it'll stay 3rd down and 8. So they need 8 here to move the chains. 3rd down and 8 from the 23. The Howell fans are on their feet. If you can hear the bleachers, they're on their feet here at the H. Sutton rolls out to the left. He's got a man open. That is complete. Did he stay in bounds? He did. A nice catch there made by, I believe it was 23. That was Nathan Ryan, who's been the go-to target receiving-wise and all year for Troy Buchanan.
Absolutely, and Charos, Sutton
so Sutton's they're going to send a man in motion. Sutton's going to keep it, and the Vikings are all over him.
Sutton on that previous play there did a great job getting out of the pocket, rolling out, and seeing his man downfield right on the sidelines. Obviously, a great job from Nathan Ryan, keeping his feet in there and bringing it in for the first down, and they're going to mark him for a gain of 1 on that last run.
So they're going to give Sutton a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 from the Troy 36. 9:24 left to go here in this one. Sutton keeps. He's going to throw downfield to the left side. It is hauled in by Troy Buchanan. Oh, what a catch made by Nathan Ryan, the senior. So that is
depending on what this penalty marker
Well, we do have a penalty marker. Oh,
I think there was some contact.
And I think that's going to be on Troy.
Oh my goodness.
So that's going to be on Troy as it was a completion, and it was a completion that got him to about the Viking 15 as it was hauled in by Nathan Ryan, but a holding penalty called on Troy Buchanan, and oh my goodness, that is a game changer here in this one.
Just took away from arguably the best catch of the game. There's been plenty of it, but a catch that was made 50 yards downfield, and Charles Sutton unfortunately catches a bad break for the Troy Trojans there, as I initially thought that they might have called maybe a roughing the passer.
Yeah, I couldn't see where
because I did see some
believe
contact drawn.
That's, yeah.
However,
But did they call a hold on Troy Buchanan?
Pushing them back.
So ball at the 20. It's a second down and 25 now for Troy Buchanan at their own 20-yard line after the big completion that comes back. There's over the middle. That's Nathan Ryan. He's got room to work with. He's going to get right back to the initial line of scrimmage. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be about 8 or 9 yards short. So a nice completion, though, there, and it gets him a little bit closer.
Talk about a workhorse. I mean, working for those extra yards. Just gets back to about initially where the series of downs would start there.
Yeah, it'll be a 3rd down and 8 here from the Troy 37. 8:30 left to go here in this one. Sutton's going to drop back. He's going to look over the middle, and he overthrew him. He got Nathan Ryan wide open, and he just overshot him. And we've been talking about it. This side of the field, they've been overshooting the receivers. On the left side of the field, they have been underthrowing them, and there was an overthrow there.
Yeah, I mean, that wind's really playing a factor. We look at the goalposts and even the American flag. Look at how fast it's whipping kind of back towards the parking lot, going towards the right here from where we're at in the press box. That's a huge factor, and like you said, we've seen it already play a big factor in tonight's game, especially this half. We've seen 3 passes here as Booker Simmons couldn't quite shoot his receivers here going this way as well.
So it's a 4th down and 8 from the 37. They bring on their punter, and that's Mason Gessert, the senior for Troy Buchanan. And it looks like they're going to reset the play clock here. The play clock was at 0. They just reset it, so we'll replay this punt. So they're going to punt from their own 37 here. Gessert struggled from as that's going to bounce at around the 28. So a nice punt there made by the senior Mason Gessert.
Yeah, that was a punt the Troy Trojans needed there. However, it even took kind of an unfortunate bounce for the Trojans there as they kind of bounced back. If it got the forward roll, which I mean you'd expect with the wind, they could have kind of even pinned them even deeper. However, that's a much-needed punt from the Troy Trojans there.
It was the wrong side of field you wanted to be punting on for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
He was punting into the wind there, but a great punt as the Vikings will be spotted at the 27. So it'll be a 1st down and 10 from the Viking 27 here. 8:12 to go here in this one. Gabe James is in there for the Vikings, I think.
Yeah, that 1 and 9 from a side angle is kind of tough to distinguish, but that is Gabe James.
8:12 left to go. Fasten your seatbelts here in for this district final. And there's a handoff to Brady Holtman. I kind of worded that wrongly, but put a gain of about 4 for Brady Holtman.
Well, you know, we saw a jam-packed with excitement 4th quarter in that first meeting against these two teams as we look to see the same, pretty similar here on this one.
And it looks like they're going to draw Troy off sides. At least that's what the Vikings indicate.
And Gabe James might have sold that a little.
It'll be an offsides, yep.
Gabe James might have a career in a salesman because he pointed right at him and got the flag right after
I
I
didn't see anything at first.
I saw a quick head get picked up, which typically they're hesitant on throwing the offsides. However, Gabe James, like I said, could be a future salesman as he pointed him right out there and got the flag for 5 yards.
2nd down and 1 for the Vikings after the penalty. They are at their own 36. 7:35 left to go here in this district final. It's coming down to the wire here. And there's a handoff to Brady Holtman. Brady Holtman's going to pick up the 1st down. That should move the 1st down chains.
Automatic, absolute I mean, absolute machine. He's a solid kid. And he, like I said, those 1-2 yard gains, all it takes is one strong stride as he almost is attacking the ground when he runs, you know. He runs aggressively and is looking to hurt that turf. And that's what he does to pick up that 1-2 yard gain.
First down and 10 from the 40. Here's a handoff to Jalen Pearson. Jalen Pearson's going to pick up about 4.
And then you switch pace real quick with a guy like Jalen Pearson, who's he's a little light on his feet. However, likes to get shifty and create his own space there. Holtman, he don't need too much space. He just goes head down and try and take me down, you know.
Yeah. Second down and 7 from the Howell 43. 6:40 left to go here in this one.
And the winner of this will play the winner of Liberty North and Park Hill, which it scores 24-14. Liberty North in the lead. Winner goes on to play that. We're in the district finals of football. Winner goes on.
Gabe James is going to get sacked as he's marked down about a yard short of the initial line of scrimmage, so a loss of 4 there for the Vikings. So good job there for Troy Buchanan as they sack Gabe James. And that'll bring up a third down and 11 from the Howell 39. 6:05 left to go here in this one. Howell's going to take a little bit of time off the clock as they get the play from the sideline. Well, this is a big third down here.
Absolutely. If you can somehow manage to get this first down, 3rd and 11, you can need a lot more clock off, which would be huge.
Gabe James takes it. He's going to take it up the gut, and he's going to be well short of the first down as he picked up about 5. And that'll get him to about the 45.
And I'm curious with that.
I was kind of surprised they didn't put Booker in there.
I'm curious with that play call as you send a quarterback up the middle that's kind of got a lot of traffic in it as it has the whole night essentially, in a 3rd and 11 position, you know. Like you said, I mean, you're at the 43-yard line, and if you get a first down, you're at the 50. So interesting play call for sure.
So it'll be a punt from the Howell 44. We've seen some fakes this year, but Josh Deal's going to punt this one away. It's a decent punt. Fair catch at about the 29 and maybe the 30. As Nick Bova with the fair catch there for the Trojans. They will start at their own 30-yard line. 4:58 left to go. This might be Troy Buchanan's last shot, potentially here on offense. And
you know, with the way this defense has been playing, I don't know if you can say that because this defense can get those possessions out of the way quick. So, you know, depending on how long they eat off the clock here, definitely could be their last possession. However, if I think it's a 3 and out, I think they might see the ball again.
They go first down and 10 from the Troy 30. Sutton hands it off to Brett Smith. Brett Smith is going to get about 5.
As you mentioned, seemingly quiet game for Brett Smith. That's a solid 5-yard pickup, especially first play of the drive. You know.
So here's a handoff again for Brett Smith. He's got a lot of blocks. He's got a lot of open room and a nice tackle made by a Viking defender, but a huge gain for Brett Smith, as that'll move the chains and get him into Viking territory.
And there is a player down.
And it looks like we got a Viking down here on around the Troy 40. So 4:34 left to go here in this one. And we're going to take a quick time out here on the Howell Activities Network. We'll be right back with you here for the conclusion of this game.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri. Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
We are back here live on the Howell Activities Network. 4:34 left to go here in this one. A 21-17 Howell lead here in the fourth quarter as we had an injured Viking that was shaken up on the play.
Unfortunately, he, with some assistance, is walking off the field, which is always a good sign to see, as he was in visible pain there down on the field.
So 4:34 left to go here in this district final. Troy will have it in Viking territory. As the injured Viking is taken off the field, and here we go.
We hear the feet stomp.
4:34, first down and 10 from the
fans
Howell
are on their
43
feet.
here for Troy Buchanan, one of the biggest drives of the whole season. And here's a snap. It is a handoff to number 15 for Troy, and he's going to pick up about 5. And that is number 15, Ethan Lawler, who's done a lot of those little, those little handoffs where he's in motion. So a gain of 5 there for Troy Buchanan. Second down and 5 from the Howell 38. They send another man in motion. Sutton's going to take the snap as a handoff to Brett Smith, and the Vikings are all over it. They stop him, and they might have even lost a yard there.
And if you thought you heard the feet stomps on those past two plays, imagine them on this huge third down.
It'll be a loss of 1, they're going to say. So a third down and 6 from the 39. 350.
Vikings ever needed a stop, right now is the time. This is a huge stop for the Vikings.
Third down and 6, 3:45. Sutton takes the snap. He's going to throw to the left. That's a first down, and that'll move the chains for the Trojans as that was complete to number 23, Nathan Ryan.
Ryan has just been taking over this game, as he has all year, over 1,000 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns. I mean, the kid has been a stud all year, and he's showing it in this district final game. Huge first down for the Trojans.
First down and 10 from the 30. Sutton's going to keep it. He's going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 on that rush up the gut, and that'll bring up a second down and around 6 or 7. 3:28 left to go here in this one. And actually, they're going to mark him. They're just going to give him 2 on that. So a third down or a second down and 8 from the 28. Second down and 8 from the 28 here for Troy. 3:14 left to go here in this one. Huge for this Vikings defense. Here's a keeper by Sutton, and the Vikings are all over it, as he might have picked up about 1, maybe 2, and it looked like Wyatt Robbins was in on the tackle.
He was had a fairly quiet night, actually, on the defensive side. A big tackle from Wyatt Robbins, and that's a player that you need to step up in these big-time plays. 3rd and 4 here.
3rd and 4. Fans come on their feet from the 24 of Francis Howell here for Troy. It's a low snap. And they're all over him. They sack him. What a huge sack. And that was Brett Norfleet on the sack for Francis Howell. 4th down, 2:36 left to go. That was one of the biggest plays defensively of the whole season.
Norfleet.
Or was it Evan Pivo with the sack? I thought it was initially Brett Norfleet.
Pivo recovered it. That's Norfleet getting the sack there.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Huge hit from Norfleet, broke through that offensive line with ease and got to the quarterback before he even saw the ball almost. I mean, an absolute great jump on the snap and a huge stop on 3rd down, because you got to imagine, even if they did stop him, they were going to go for it on 4th down. Was it a turn?
Did Francis Howell end up recovering the football? Is the question. I couldn't tell at the end of the play if they ended up getting the football or not, but it looks like there's some discussion on the field. So not really sure where.
They got it. It's a foul on the offense or on the recovery after the.
So it's okay. So Francis Howell ends up getting a fumble recovery, and they had a foul after the play. So they're going to get a first down and 10 from the 18. So Francis Howell's offense is back out there. The sack was made by Brett Norfleet. The recovery by Evan Piwowarski, one of the biggest plays of the year. 2:36 left to go. Gabe James is in there at QB. He's going to hand it off to Brady Holtman. Brady Holtman's going to shed a couple tackles. He's going to pick up about 2. I think everybody in this booth couldn't tell if there was a fumble on that play or not, but they're
I was fairly certain with everybody on their feet.
Yeah,
that was
that's
a
what.
fumble.
Well, I couldn't tell initially if there was a fumble after the play, but
And that's a huge play, and the Vikings are, a couple first downs, and they should have this game put away. However, they can't stop right now because you got a whole 2 minutes to go, and that's a long time in football. And no matter if it seems like it or not, that's plenty of time for multiple scores. I can promise you that.
So a timeout made here for Troy Buchanan. They got one timeout left, 2:25 left to go. Vikings lead by 4. They got a second down and 8 from the 20. So they're going to put some time back on the clock. It'll actually be 2:31. So here, if you're the Vikings, if you get a first down, you got to be starting to feel a lot better, especially with Troy Buchanan left with only one timeout left.
I think for certain you need 2 more first downs. I think, however, with a first down, I think you're looking pretty solid.
Second down and 8 from the 20. As they get everybody lined up here. 2:31. Gabe James is in at QB here for the Vikings. Second down and 8 from the 20. There's a handoff to Brady Holtman to the right side. Brady Holtman is going to pick up about 1 or 2.
Penalty marker on the
field. We got a penalty. And the penalty was made right back to around the spot.
That's going to be a costly penalty on the Vikings.
That's going to be on
holding.
Francis Howell, a hold, so that's going to move him back about 10 yards.
Holding is the call against the Vikings.
So it's a second down. I believe we're going to replay second down, but yep, it will be. So it'll be a replay of second down, and they're going to spot it about the 9.
That's a costly penalty on the Vikings. I mean, you only shave off 3 seconds of play there on the play clock or the game clock, and pushes you back a long distance here.
Second down and 20 from the 8 of Francis Howell. 2:15 left to go. Gabe James is in at QB. He's alongside his running back, Brady Holtman. Gabe James is going to take some clock off. It's a high snap, and it's a keeper by Gabe James, and Gabe James is going to pick up some of that yardage back. He picks up about 5, maybe 6 on that rush.
And that snap could have been dangerous right there.
I'll tell you what, that goes a little bit higher, and it might end up being
or
a
Gabe
Troy
James
touchdown.
doesn't react as quick. I mean, seriously, that was seconds away from disaster. Yeah.
So they're going to give him 8 on that rush. Third down and 12 from the 16. A timeout taken here for Troy Buchanan. There's 1:51 left to go in this district final. Everybody nervous here at the H on both sides of the field.
You can feel the nervous in the stands. Everybody knows what's at stake, and the winner of this game goes through to play, from what it looks like, Liberty North. However, that game can change, and it looks like Liberty North is up 27-14 here. Winner of this goes through and takes on the winner of that one, and the Vikings are in need of a big-time first down, and potentially could sum up this season right here.
So it's a third down and 12 from the 16. Handoff to Brady Holtman, and Brady Holtman's going to get right back to the original line of scrimmage. So that will move the clock, but it'll bring up 4th down. So 30 seconds on the play clock, so you'd imagine that Francis Howell here is going to take a lot of the clock off and then maybe decide to call a timeout and punt it away, or maybe they'll decide to just punt it away during, there's different ways to play it.
You can run the clock down to 1:10 remaining here.
And then just call a timeout.
Which would be ideal, I would think.
So 1:15 left to go, 3 seconds on the play clock, and now Francis Howell is going to call a timeout. And so that'll take it to 1:12. So Troy Buchanan's going to get a shot here. You'd imagine the Vikings are going to punt this football away. They're going to have to, as far deep as they are. But 1:12 left to go, and it all comes down to this, Michael.
First and foremost, you're going to need a big punt from Josh Deal here. He's been very strong with his punts today.
You can't have another block at the line.
Absolutely not, and you got to get that punt off and kind of get them in deep position. Obviously, they're probably going to end up with a field possession at about 45, 40-yard line. And then Howell defense, it's in your hands. It's in your hands. We saw what happened whenever Vikings got the ball back with a similar amount of time at Troy. This game has a very similar feel. However, this Howell Vikings team is going to need to have a huge defensive series if they want to keep this game going.
LeBron Matthews, Caden Oldmeyer back to receive. Actually, that's Ethan Lawler. Here's the punt by Deal. And it's a high one, and it's fair caught at about the the Viking 48, the 44. So 1:07 left to go. Troy will have the ball at the Viking 44. First down and 10, 1:07 left to go. The district final on the line.
Postseason football in St. Louis, St. Charles County, baby. This is what it's all about. And the Vikings defense looking to make a huge defensive series.
Charles Sutton's going to keep it up the gut, and he's going to pick up about 4 or 5. 1 minute to go. Clock is still running. They have Troy has no timeouts. Vikings have 2. You would think they don't use theirs. Second down and 6, a gain of 4. 49 seconds. Charles Sutton rolls out to the right. He looks downfield. That is complete to his go-to target all night, and that has been number 23, Nathan Ryan. And so that'll be a gain of about 16 there for Troy Buchanan.
Most importantly, Nathan Ryan.
He gets out of bounds as well.
Nathan Ryan gets out of bounds, which is huge.
40 seconds on the clock. First down and 10. The ball is marked at the Francis Howell 23 as they are approaching the red zone here. Charles Sutton gets ready for the snap. He's on his runner, Brett Smith. He's going to air it out. That is complete to Nathan Ryan, and he is out of bounds at the 11. I believe that's going to be right at the mark. They're going to move the chains. So it's a gain of about 11 or 12. And oh my goodness, first down and 10 from the 12 here. 34 seconds left to go. Sutton's going to keep it. He's going to take it up the gut, and he's going to pick up about 3, maybe 4. 27 seconds. Second down here for Troy. 21 seconds, a gain of 3. Here is the snap, 18 seconds. Sutton's going to roll out to the left. He's going to look over the middle. It is incomplete. Broken up. I believe it's Deshaun Hudson in there with maybe somebody else. It brings up third down. 13 seconds left to go. It's 4-down territory. Troy's going to have 2 shots at the end zone.
And there was a big hit, late hit as well.
Well, they're coming together, and they're kind of looking at it. I think Troy's sideline wanted a penalty.
It looked a little late. I mean, it was bang, bang, and that player took a big hit there in the end zone as he's down, and that's an unfortunate play to see there. I mean, he definitely took a big hit, and like I said, it was bang, bang with the whistle there.
So it's a 3rd down and 7 from the 9 here for Troy Buchanan. They're right at the red zone. They got 13 seconds. It's, 4 down territory, obviously, here. But boy, it all comes down to this. For the district final championship, Troy Buchanan is going for their first ever.
I'm not going to lie, Evan. I threw my hands on my head expecting a penalty marker to be on the field after that one.
I thought I did as well.
That one, I'm still taken back on how there wasn't one. And the Vikings need.
So it was a big hit. There is no penalty.
The Vikings caught themselves a break, and there's not a single person off in their seats by any means right now. This is a season, and this is a huge play for the Francis Howell Vikings.
3rd down and 7 from the 9 here for Troy Buchanan. 13 seconds left to go. Charles Sutton in shotgun formation. They got 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, and we got a timeout called by Francis Howell. They got 1 remaining. So you got to make sure you got your defense in line here as it comes down to this here for Francis Howell.
I just got a smile on my face here to here right now. This is playoff football, Evan. This is unbelievable. Get your defense organized, and you're on to Liberty North. And, get your defense together, make a stop. Troy, you get your offense together, you're on your way to Liberty North as well. This is high school playoff football, and, man, just got to organize it. And you got to imagine they're going to go to the air. Obviously, they can't run right now, so you got to tighten up on your secondary. You almost play a zone in the end zone and just have it all blocked off, They could potentially have a QB sneak, so you got to keep your offensive or defensive line up there. But, send them in zone, and you got to expect anything. The defense is getting these players ready, or getting these fans ready to go. The whole sideline's getting the fans ready to go. This is it, baby. This is incredible.
Troy Buchanan going for their first ever district championship. Francis Howell going for their first since 2014. They lost their last 3 appearances of the district final. 3rd down and 7 from the 9. 13 seconds to go. Here's the snap. Sutton's going to look to the right. He looks for Ryan. It is incomplete. And no flags. 4th down and 7. They're going to have one more shot at it, and it all comes down to this. 7 seconds left to go. This is the final play of the game.
You didn't mention, that pass was caught right outside the end zone. He was about 2 feet outside, but he brought it in, and you got to imagine they look for Ryan again here on this huge play that essentially establishes their season.
4th down and 7 from the 9. Down to the final play of the game. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Sutton is going to snap it. Here's the throw over the middle. A diving catch. Did he catch it? He did. Touchdown, Troy Buchanan. And they are going to win the district championship as they celebrate on the field. And the Viking season comes to an end here tonight. A 23-21 win for Troy Buchanan. Their fans rush the field. Oh, wait, no. Now the Vikings sideline is going to say it's incomplete as they're celebrating.
There's a flag that came out.
There was a flag that came out late. And we got a ton of Troy students on the field celebrating. Oh, my goodness. And it looks like there was a flag thrown, but we don't know what it is, as the Vikings were kind of celebrating on their sideline for a second there. It is a touchdown confirmed for Troy Buchanan, and they have won the district final 23-21 over the Howell Vikings. And this incredible season for Francis Howell comes to a very tough end here tonight as they lose on the final play of the game. And that is the end of this Francis Howell season. Michael, you got any final thoughts on that one? We expected a good game. We got it here tonight.
There's we're getting a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct on the field from both sides here, and that's a shame to have a game like this end like that. That was a district football game, and for anybody to have anything negative about it, It's incredible, go shake your hands because that was a hard-fought game that was left out. Everything was left on the field by every single player out there. Francis Howell Vikings had an incredible, absolutely unreal season, was incredible all season, hard-fought, gritty football team, and, it's amazing on the exact opposite of what happened at Troy kind of took place here at Francis Howell.
Yeah.
That last-minute drive, and the Troy Buchanan Trojans walk away with the big victory and last-minute victory, last-second victory. But the Francis Howell Vikings, talent all over this field. There's going to be so many players on this field that are going to be going to the next level. That's what they got to understand. There's so many players and Coach Chinaki has created an environment and an atmosphere on this sidelines that really just builds into everybody's character, and you can see it. Posted a great season, and what a season from the Howell Vikings here. Troy Buchanan had a hard-fought game, and in all honesty, I'm still questioning I think a lot of people else up in this press box, did that ball hit the ground or not? I mean, that was close.
Something that, in college or even the NFL, we'd have replay to review that, but obviously, in the high school game. But you got to give both teams credit for just a hard-fought game here tonight, and a game that me and you will never forget, obviously. And it was a game that you got to give Troy a lot of credit. They come down to the final minute, and they're a special group, and this Howell team's a special group as well. And
a season we're not going to forget by any means.
And it was a special season for Francis Howell. Their final record ends up at 10-2, which is another terrific season here for Francis Howell, and for Troy Buchanan, their first ever district championship. So I am Evan Webb alongside my partner Michael Harvey. We thank you for joining us here on the Howell Activities Network, and thank you for a special season and all the sponsors and everybody that helped us out keep this going here this year.
Absolutely. Thank you for spending your Fridays with us. We enjoy it, and I hope you guys do as well. We're happy to bring you these games, and we look forward to it every week. The Howell atmosphere is incredible, and it's something that we always look forward to on our Fridays, and we're glad to spend it with you. And thank you to our sponsors, and thank you for our listeners as well. We'll be back next year, hopefully, here on Francis Howell Activity Network, and hopefully you tune in for a couple basketball games as well this year with us.
Absolutely.
As mentioned, I'm Michael Harvey. This is Evan Webb signing off for the 2021 year.